Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to the Best Ever You show. We are in our 16th season now. Oh my gosh. We have 8 million downloads now and pushing 9. And it's all because of you guys. We're so thrilled to have guests like you guys here today, Ken and Harley. I always call you Dr. Harley in my name, but in my mind, but Dr. Harley Rotbart is here and Ken Davidoff is here. And guess what, everybody? They've got a new book out and it is circulating all around. I'll just hold it up. My husband doesn't put this down. He's like, don't give away my book. I'm gonna order more to give them away. How are you guys?
Great. Thank you for having us, Elizabeth.
Thank you. How are you, Harley?
Thank you. This is a reunion for us, Elizabeth. We go back a long time, and I'm grateful to have another excuse to visit with you.
Thank you. And I pester Ken on Twitter, or X or whatever it's called now. But I'm so grateful to you, Ken, because I'm a baseball mom and baseball family, and I feel like we're all baseball family. And that's the way it goes because you guys treat us like baseball family. We get a quick dose of like, by the way, you're part of us now. And it's the sweetest thing. I've never seen a sport like it. I'm an old gymnast and it's not like that in gymnastics. Baseball is really cool. And it seems to me like the older guys are always looking out for the younger guys. And it's just this thing and it goes round and round and it doesn't matter what level you play at. You could like literally get on social media and say, hey, I played college baseball. It's like, oh, okay, your family. It's so cool. So I thank you for that, both of you. But can you put me in touch with Todd Stottlemyre? I don't know if you remember that or
yeah,
not.
now I do. Right.
Yeah.
I love the Stottlemyre family. They're just great people.
He is like just so I've done, I think 3 or 4 interviews with him. He's endorsed things. I'm like,
Wow.
you're the coolest human. He's so
Yeah.
kind. Yeah. So thank you for that. But all right,
Of course.
tell me, how in the world did my two, social media bestie and book bestie get together? How'd you guys meet? Like, let's go. How?
Well, I'll start and I'll hand it up to Harley because he'll carry the bulk of the load here. But we have the same agent, serendipity, same literary agent, Lisa Lefty, and she paired us up, and then Harley can take it from there.
Well, I've been working with Lisa. This is the 5th or 6th book that Lisa and I have done together. And when I showed her the sort of the forerunner of this book, she wisely said, "But who are you to sell a baseball book?" I don't think those were her exact words, but she said, "We need some baseball street cred, and I know somebody who can hook you up with important baseball players." And so she connected me with Ken, and after speaking to Ken and reading his writing, as a non-New Yorker, who reads the New York Post? I didn't know from the New York Post. but after reading his writing and speaking to him, I didn't need a baseball player. I needed a baseball writer, and that is Ken. And the match was made in heaven, and he has brought enormous talent to the book and to promoting the book. And it's been a wonderful collaboration.
Yeah, Ken is legend. I remember I'm like, he actually responded, kind of thing. And I think it's so cool when people do that. They don't get all full of themselves to the point where they're like, I don't have time for you. And I really appreciate that about both of you. Because you're real deal, you're real, you're reachable and so forth. And I see that in your social media. I see how you show up in person. I haven't met you in person yet either of you. So we'll have to make that happen because that'll be fun. Somewhere along your book signing, I'll show up with, but anyway, it's just so important to be that way. Are you finding that more and more that as you get out there, people are just giving you big hugs and saying what a great book this is?
A lot of positive feedback. Yeah, I mean, actually, Lisa and I, our agent, are members of the same synagogue. That's not how we met. We met at a different house of worship, Soul Cycle, the spin place. But
That's funny.
Yeah. So last night Lisa and I did a joint event at our synagogue in Manhattan, and yeah, look, I think it's just our book is this jolt of positivity and reinforcement that I think is well timed given the state of the world.
Yeah. So if you are a parent, a coach, a family member of somebody who's playing baseball or even another sport, this really translates to other sports. Listen up. This is going to be a really important show. And this book is so important right now because that is, having been through it, we used to all, like elbow to elbow at college and go, we've been through a lot, haven't we, to get to this point? The parents of baseball players, the coaches of baseball players, because they're so cute. They start, itty bitty for the most part. Ours did anyway. Like 6 months, Cam started, throwing things, and we're like, well, we better put a baseball in that, kind of thing with his left hand. And when he went in, he had a life-saving surgery. And when he went in for surgery, I took him to Toys R Us. And I thought we were going to take a truck into surgery. And instead he picked up one of those little wiffle balls in the plastic glove, and that went under his pillow into surgery. And you just knew you had a baseball player. So there's something to be respected about humans who just love baseball, right? And it's not the easiest road. People tell you can't. People tell you won't. People say terrible things to you along the way. And this seems to be a guide to counter that awe. Am I correct in that? Because wow, this is such a believe in yourself as a student athlete book. I can't even handle it. I read it. I'm like, oh, I needed this.
You know what we're finding though, Elizabeth, in addition to the obvious, in addition to the lessons that baseball and softball teach kids and help parents teach kids and help coaches teach kids, what we're finding is that we are connecting with the mental health population of caregivers, people who realize that these sports and the lessons, small paragraphs, these are 1.5 page lessons, actually address in almost every chapter kids' mental health. And it's become, and I'm not sure, I certainly didn't realize, I don't know if Ken realized it as we were writing this, but I didn't realize the undercurrent of mental health values that we were writing and that have now come out in the hugs that we get when we talk about the book and when people have read the book. So
I'm literally hugging your book. And I only hug one other book, kind of thing. And I can tell you firsthand how important this is because they do go through a grind, and it's an incredible grind. And people do say really terrible. I'm not kidding. I'm not making it up. They say terrible things. If I had a dime for everything that's been said to Cam, I'd have a vacation house somewhere. You're too short. You're too slow. You're too this. You're too that kind of thing. And that's just one human. And you hear him say what's been said to his teammates, and if you see people quit for various reasons and things like that. And I think we're seeing here in Maine anyway, I was talking to his old coach the other day, there's hardly a team. There's,
Wow.
There's hardly a team in some cities. They're having to put cities together and, all sorts of things. So people are dropping out of kids. You can research that kids drop out of sports. It's an alarming rate. So this, I think, keeps people in sports and keeps their mental health supported. So, Ken, did you intend that at all? Were you thinking, oh, I'm just going to write about baseball? And
Yeah, no, it's funny, Elizabeth. So I'll share, it's funny you talk about the grind and the negativity. And look, I was most definitely not a player, but I did cover the sport at which you follow the rhythms of a player, because I was there every day for 6 months and plus spring training. And then even in the wintertime for the journalists, you're tracking, okay, who are the Yankees and Mets going to get? Which new players? Who are they hiring? Who are they firing? So I felt that grind in my own way, and I experienced professional burnout. And that was why, I just got sick and tired of that grind. And you talk about negativity. Oh my goodness, social media and emails. And I got a lot of that.
I don't know. Yeah. No, I was going to say, I don't know how anybody could say to a professional baseball player, you suck. Because you're a professional baseball player, you're pretty darn great as is. And I think that they forget that because they're, elevated among all greatness. And so some people are even greater. And so in that capacity, you know, they appear like they're not as good or they're having a tough time or whatever. And I'm like, remember, people, remember where you are and be grateful for where you are. And you're amazing. And I don't know if they surround themselves with people and that say that or they hear it. So if you're listening, you're all amazing.
You're all amazing.
Elizabeth, there's a
That'd be fun
chapter.
to write, right, Ken? You're all amazing all the time, even though you struck out twice. Yeah.
There's a chapter at the end of the book that's called Heroes and Goats. And it is exactly what you just described. And that is that when a professional player, but certainly when a little league player or a high school player or a college player makes an error or gives up the home run or is called out at the plate, they are the GOAT for that moment. And overcoming being, and by GOAT, I don't mean in the Tom Brady greatest of all time GOAT. I mean they are the GOAT they are the resented player because they blew the game. They made the mistake. And the chapter on heroes and goats reminds kids that today's GOAT may be tomorrow's hero. And you have to get past the moment of disappointment. This is the mental health angle of that chapter. You have to get through the moment of disappointment when someone from the bleachers yells, "You suck." And they do at Little League. I mean, there is an embarrassing amount of misbehavior among people in the bleachers. Embarrassing. And even among opposing teams, but opposing teams are much kinder to each other than the fans in the bleachers are in Little League and high school games. And when someone screams, "You suck," because the game was lost on the final play that you were involved in, we remind people that there are 26 outs before that final out.
Yeah.
And had those gone better, the final out would not have mattered. And you have to be patient. You have to be patient when you're the GOAT, because tomorrow you'll be the hero.
Good.
So the final chapter of the book, one of the last chapters of the book, is called Heroes and Goats. And that the GOAT is not in the Tom Brady greatest of all time GOAT. It's in you're the GOAT because you made the final play that ruined the game for your team. And the fans in the bleachers are not kind, and they are yelling, as you said earlier about professional players, they're yelling at Little League players, they're yelling at high school and college players that you suck because you blew it. You made that final mistake that cost your team the game. And the mental health aspect of that chapter is that moment of disappointment, that moment of criticism has to be overcome, because today's GOATs may become tomorrow's heroes. And it happens that fast. It happens that fast. And so shake it off. Taylor Swift, thank you. Shake it off.
Night to Gillette. Love Taylor Swift.
Shake it off. Shake it off. And there's a funny shake it off story. I was coaching a team, a Little League team, and my wife was in the bleachers. And one of my players' sister was in the bleachers, and she fell off the bleachers and she hit her head from the third bleacher.
Ouch.
And my wife ran over to her before her parents could even get to her. And Molly, are you okay? Are you okay? And she said, I'm okay. I said, and so Sarah, my wife, said, so how are you going to get? How can you feel better? And she says, my daddy always says you have to just shake it off, because she's the sister of 3 baseball player siblings, and you don't dwell on disappointment. You just shake it off.
True. I love it. Good old Taylor Swift. She's in everything, isn't she? She's amazing.
Yeah.
So Ken, what was your biggest surprise in writing this? What's been the...
Well, Elizabeth, this was my first book. I was always too busy with my regular job. And then I quit my regular job back in 2022, as I was saying, suffering from burnout. So I think for me, the surprise was just re-embracing my love of the game, which frankly I had lost from writing about it in the way I did. And I'm just so pleasantly surprised by the reaction to this book, because the same people who say, oh, what's wrong with the Yankees? They've lost 5 of 7, and what are they going to trade for? Also can appreciate a book like this, which addresses the games of baseball and softball at a more fundamental level, and the joys of the game and the rewards of the game.
Think about how nice this book is going to be to create that foundation of solid mental health. So, and the next wave of baseball players, they'll have something in place that they don't have to learn or relearn in their 40s or whatever it is as they're being beaten around by the game. Harley, what about you? Are you amazed at how many people Ken knows? It's got to be a lot of cool people.
Yeah, back in the day when people used this device, there would not be enough room in Ken's Rolodex.
Right? Yeah.
No, I'm so grateful for that, because as Ken said, we have a mutual agent, and Lisa kind of said, "Well, who do you know?" to me, and Ken can find somebody with a baseball name, and he certainly did. David Wright is on the cover of the book.
Yeah.
David Wright is on the as is Reggie Jackson and Joe Girardi and Bernie Williams. They're on the cover of the book, but none of them would have been able to write or promote or teach about the book the way Ken has. And I check Facebook every day to see what Ken is doing. Every day.
I do too. I love to include you too in our. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I don't know if you were like, oh God, why'd you do that? But I didn't let you have that moment. I just did it. I included him in our girls author group. Sorry.
Oh
Ken.
yeah, I was just
like it's lady.
Yeah,
and there's your baseball book, because so many of us are baseball moms.
Uh-huh.
I think almost every one of us in that group is baseball mom. Like you can all, and everybody got a kick out of it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, and I think books spread that way when you mix them up, with other books that aren't necessarily in the exact same genre or anything like that. So that's another little trick too. It's green too, and so it stood out. Harley, is there anybody on your baseball wish list that you are like, Ken, I just want to meet them. Can I? Do you have something like that?
I'm very content to be 1 degree of separation
Okay.
from the people that Ken knows. And Ken and I share baseball. Ken and I share baseball stories now. 2 of them, within recent history in the major leagues, were as if they had illustrated the book for the public. So, and so we talk. Ken and I share these stories. One of my favorite ones is a player. I'm going to say his name wrong. His name is Joe Adell. So Joe Adell.
I played baseball with him. That's funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Saxon at the Met Classic.
So we write we write a chapter called Right Field and Shortstop, or Shortstop and Right Field, and it's chapter 49 of the book, and that teaches kids that the sort of concept, the narrative that the worst players play in right field on a little league team or a high school team, and the best players play at shortstop.
Yeah.
And if you are the star of the team, you're the shortstop, and or the pitcher if you're Cam. But Joe Adell on April 4th of 2026, playing for the Dodgers in right field.
Angels.
Playing for the Angels in right field.
Yeah.
See why I need Kem? Playing for the Angels in right field. Robs 3 home runs over the fence, catches 3 home runs to beat the Mariners 1-0. 1-0. Had it not been for those 3 robbed in right field.
Yep.
So the best players are not always little leaguers, high schoolers, college players. Learn this. The best players are not always the shortstops. If you're asked to play right field, be the best right fielder you can possibly be, and maybe the best right fielder on your team, and maybe you'll save the game for your team. So that is it's sort of a living example of
I love
the
it.
book. And the other one Ken and I talk about all the time is after game 2 of the World Series, Yoshi Yamamoto had just pitched a complete game. And one reporter happened to see him in the dugout. The dugout's now cleared out. Everybody's back in the clubhouse. He is cleaning up the debris that the team left, that his Dodgers, right, Ken, not Angels.
Yeah,
That
it's Dodgers, yes.
that his Dodgers left in the dugout. He's picking up the cups and the sunflower seed packets, because that's what you do when you respect your own space. And that chapter is chapter
92.
92 of cleaning up today's mess, not leaving it for tomorrow.
Yeah, I love it. It's so important, isn't it? All the little I always say it's like so much more than just baseball. And it's like, to me, I don't know, maybe because we're absorbed in it, because like all 4 kids played baseball. It's so much bigger than baseball, though. It's really hard to explain. Can you explain it, Ken? Like, you've got to see it, like story after story. It's all so interconnected in the coolest way. And it's a sport that's got, to me anyway, I might mom this up and girl this up, I'm so sorry, but to me it's a sport that has like an elegance and grace about it, and it has rules and manners, and it's got some different little nuances to it that you don't see. It's got a respect or something. I don't know. Ken, what is that?
Yeah, it's fascinating, Elizabeth. I think, look, someone could say you could do this book with any sport, and that's not entirely wrong. But I do think that baseball and softball are the best fits for this book for a few reasons. One of them is the everyday nature of it. When when you play at the highest level, you play every day, and it just becomes part of your life in a way the other sports don't. I think another is the pace of the games, and for all the grief that the baseball and softball get, that they're slow and the pitch clock has helped. I think that pace allows for a little bit of introspection and reflection, even among the competitors. With the time between pitches and between batters and between innings. And then the third thing is I think it's such an accessible sport. Like I think, like as I said, Lisa and I spoke at our synagogue last night, and someone in the audience said, I don't know anything about baseball. And I said, well, the delta between what you know and what the smartest baseball, softball person knows is the smallest compared to football, basketball, hockey, all the other sports. So I just think because, you get the other sports, you have to get really granular. Oh, what was the offensive lineman doing there? And baseball, I think it's pretty simple. It's, it's a bunch of one-on-one battles, and then the teammates help out. It's 3 outs, 9 innings. I just think there's a simplicity to baseball that makes it a best fit for this kind of book, which you said really is like a mental health / parenting book covered in baseball and softball, right?
Yeah. And yet it's still tricky to play. It's a game of failure.
Oh, tricky to play, but I'm talking about understand. I'm talking about understand and
But
grasp.
go take it to the next thing though, with, if you would, for me, either one of you, like the failure component of it, because if you don't know how to navigate failure as a child or as a parent, you might be, smacked upside the head with this game, because, you're not going to hit a home run every time for sure. You're going to probably strike out more than you ever hit anything. And God bless you if you can throw strikes and get people out. It's not easy at all.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have for addressing failure in here?
Chapter 88, Harley.
Right. So the famous quote is that you can be successful the success guidebook, Elizabeth. You can be successful 1/3 of the time as a hitter and be an all-star and be in the Hall of Fame, because it doesn't take perfection to be excellent. And baseball is the perfect illustration of that. That you can make errors and still win a Gold Glove. There is room for failure in every aspect of the sport. You give up a home run, but you strike out more than you give up home runs. Strike out more batters than you give up home runs to them. And so failure is I think more than any other sport, failure is not only tolerated, but it's expected, and it is educable for young people that it's okay. It's okay. You're going to get up to bat again. You're going to throw another pitch. You're going to have another fly ball. You can teach kids that failure is part of life, and that it is. And baseball and softball have lots of failures.
Yeah. All right, your writing process. How'd you guys write this together? You're not in the same room, right? Or were you?
We've never met. We've never
Yeah.
met in person.
Wow. We're gonna have to change. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to have a joint book signing with like all the books. Like we'll just do a Barnes and Noble extravaganza, Harley. We'll just have this book and like all your other books, my books. We'll just be like, okay, got to order in all 20 books. And we're gonna stand here all day. They might do that. I'd go to Denver for that, right? Did you do that, Ken?
I'm in.
Nice.
Count me in.
Count me in. I'm in.
I should turn the camera around and show you that we have about 8 inches of snow, and it's 30 degrees, and it's May. We're in May.
I'm in Maine. I get it. We don't have snow, but we're snowbirds now. We go to South Carolina for the winter.
Yeah, I'm just trying to discourage more people from moving to Denver. I'm going to put on the most negative face possible.
So much traffic. I've never seen so much traffic in my life.
It's just crazy. Traffic's worse than Maine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, don't move to Maine either.
Right.
But no, that'd be really fun to do, don't you think? Just have some type of meet and greet. Okay, I always do this. I'm randomly turning to something in your book, and of course, I turned to chapter 43, pickle. Those are fun to be in, but tell me about what this chapter means.
We use the pickle to illustrate the problems with lying, with not telling the truth, because sometimes you get away with it. Sometimes you make it to the next base, and sometimes you have to go back to your starting base. But oftentimes when you're in a pickle, you get thrown out. It's because of a mental error that allowed you to be stuck in between bases, and teams that know how to field and how to throw out a pickled ball player will make you pay for that mistake. And that's the way it is with lying. That's the way it is with lying. Sometimes you get away with it, but most times it puts you in a pickle, and most times it puts you in a situation that where you lose trust. And when you lose trust, you really are in a pickle. And that's the chapter that we use to illustrate the importance of telling the truth.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Do you guys care if I do
more randoms? Go for it.
Okay. Taking a pitch. Ouch.
So that's white lies.
Yeah.
Taking a pitch is an opportunity to take advantage of a pitcher, and sometimes you'll take a pitch and show a bunt. You'll hold the bat up as if you're going to bunt, but you don't. You take it. That's the white lie portion of it. Yeah. When you're competing in a competition, it's okay to take advantage of the competition if you do it fairly. And taking a pitch sometimes puts the pitcher in a compromised position, because he or she have to throw a strike. And when you take the pitch, you force them to prove that they can get you out, that they can throw a strike. And that is a fair way to compete. And competition's good. And in life, there's a lot of competition in your careers and the rest of your life. And so knowing how to compete by taking a pitch and putting the pitcher in the compromised position is important. And then if you fake a bunt but still take the pitch, you're telling a white lie.
Right. All right. I'm going to do one more. Ken, this one's for you. And it's not the dancing umpire from the Savannah Bananas, although it could be. He's a good friend of mine. The umpire.
Yeah, look, the umpires have been under more scrutiny up at Major League Baseball because of the automated ball strike system. But this is quite simply accept responsibility and follow the rules. Like, sometimes the umpire is human. just like anyone else in authority or elsewhere, and they do make mistakes. But ultimately, you don't want to pick a fight with the umpire. The umpires are to reading from the book. Rules are rules, and it's the umpire's job to make sure players follow them. On the baseball, softball fields, at home, in school, and in the community, there are people whose job it is to make sure people follow the rules. As unfair as it may feel at times, you must respect rules and the people who apply them. Respecting the rules doesn't mean you can't respectfully discuss or even respectfully disagree. The key word is respectfully. But the umpires in your life will almost always win. So just
That's cute.
And Elizabeth, that's a chapter that we've talked about before that is almost more important for the parents in the bleachers
Sure.
than it is for the kids, because the abuse that parents hurl at umpires is just unimaginable and intolerable. And this is a chapter that parents should read as well as kids.
Yeah, I learned kind of early on that I don't do that anyway. I was never like that. I was pretty just grateful to be there. I went from thinking, oh, you're so cute in your outfit, to like, oh my God, bitch, kind of thing. So I grew up going to Twins games with my dad. There were 11 of us kids, and I would go with my dad to Twins games and Wild games. So that dates me. Anyway, so we didn't do all that stuff as parents. And I think that if you've got a high school player listening, they're recruiting your parents too. And they do look at you. They look at your parents and how they're behaving, because they don't want all that nonsense. And it's still there a little, but not like I saw in high school and in actual Little League, though. I saw more shenanigans in Little League than I ever saw.
Yeah.
And I can't figure it out, because I think people think the MLB is there watching their 7-year-old or something. I cannot get, what is that?
And they're thinking they're going to play in the MLB, and that's why that umpire's call is so critical, because that 7-year-old is destined to play Major League Baseball. And the pyramid is so steep that 7-year-old is not going to play Major League Baseball and should spend his years as a 7-year-old and beyond enjoying the game.
We had my husband, if he were here, he's in the other room, but if he were on the call, he'd tell you about the time that he said to everybody, look, I'm going to teach everybody the infield fly rule this evening. So if I see it, I'm going to call it. And sure enough, it happened, and the parents went crazy. Crazy. And it's Little League. And he said, look, we're all having fun here. I'm just trying to teach them something about baseball that they need to know. And if I see it, I'm going to teach it and call it and everything and explain it. And parents, anybody who arrived late didn't know what that, and some of the guys who know baseball were like, okay, that's fair, kind of thing. But he just wanted to teach the kids something new about baseball. And it just felt like, everybody was so mad. Have you ever had situations like that, Harley, where you have parents screaming at you? Because I know I have some long voicemails left on his phone from parents. You're not playing Timmy, and oh my God, he's the best player ever, and he's 8, but he's going to play for the Toronto Blue Jays one day, and we're all set up to follow. Wow, right?
Well, my major role in the dugout as a coach was to make sure that every child got a chance to play.
Yes, right. Make sure nobody gets hit.
And that's because I was coaching teams that were not going to win the state championship.
Yeah.
And parents knew that if they sat on the bleachers, their kid would get a chance to play. It may not be till the end, and it may be as a pinch runner, and it may be as a pinch hitter, but their kid's going to get a chance to play. And if kids get a chance to play, for the most part, I found that parents are mollified and pacified. And so I didn't get a lot of parental abuse, because my motive was not, we love winning.
We played everybody too and still got complaints that we didn't play him enough or whatever, because we had that same philosophy. It's like, you can't win. So, but it's such a great game. And if you can have fun, I think my husband's role in the dugout was, he would always joke, I'm just trying to make sure, nobody gets hit by a bat or a fly ball or whatever, just keeping everybody safe and stuff. We coached T-ball. in California. We lived in California. We coached T-ball, and the kids are like 4 and 5, hitting off
Yeah.
teams and stuff. And there's my dog barking in the background. It's okay. But we had one guy who was a former MLB guy come down through our line who was just sitting in the grass eating their snack. And he's like, "You all suck. You're all going to lose." And I'm like, "Dude, way too serious. It's T-ball." My kids are chasing dragonflies in the outfield and, not paying attention. And, so it's interesting. And so I think this, what I'm trying to say is I think this is so needed to counter all of the shenanigans
Yeah.
and all of the ways that it affects the children mentally, because it does.
Yeah,
And I'm glad
it
that's
does.
a side effect of the book,
It does.
because it does. And people quit and people feel less than and everything. And the trying to help people so that doesn't stick in their mind and brain long term. Getting cut from, do you have getting cut from teams in here? I don't know if I can remember that or not, but like getting cut, like, is there getting cut from a baseball team? Like one of our kids got cut from basketball one year
Yeah.
and he didn't come out of his room for 2 days,
Huh.
kind of thing. Do you
No.
guys talk about that at all? Like,
No,
because there's a lot of kids who don't get to play. They just flat out get cut especially in the
Yeah.
bigger cities and states. Yeah.
the level of play that we were really targeting was a level of play where kids do get to play. And
Play.
there's
Yeah.
a chapter on inclusivity, which is chapter 7,
7.
that
Yeah.
that basically teaches kids that it's more fun when everybody gets a chance, even if the kids are not talented. You can find some role for them in the dugout, and that's
Oh, that's such a good point. Say that
I
again.
think
That's a good
just
point at every level.
at every
Yeah,
level.
I mean, it's funny, Elizabeth, I've been telling a story from my vaunted Little League career, which was not vaunted. I stopped after Little League because I wasn't good enough to play in high school. But my last year, I was 15, so it was like my freshman year of high school. So a lot of my Little League teammates were now on playing in the high school, system.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't start. Skill was I could catch a fly ball. My dad taught my dad, may he rest in peace, taught me how to catch a fly ball. So we had this one close game against the Colts. They wore green, and I was in right field, and like a righty batter hit a ball like with a weird spin off the bat, opposite field, but I caught it, because I was skilled at catching a fly ball. And after the game, our manager, Mr. Cupo, he would hand out like little patches to the stars of the game, like 4 or 5 players per game. And I got one of the patches, and because of the catch I made, and it was so meaningful to me. For all my teammates were all better players than I was, but good guys, like to clap for me. Like I just felt so included and so important, and so it was just so reinforcing.
Did that moment make you want to do what you do? Oh, sorry, Harley. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say the fact that Ken remembers that.
Oh, we all do. We all have.
Now in his early 30s, right, Ken? You're in your early
30s. Yes.
Ken is 29.
In fact,
that was long ago, Ken. I'm glad you can remember.
The fact that Ken remembers that shows you the impact that Little League and high school baseball can make on kids.
All of it. That's exactly why this is so needed. That's exactly the point, because I've just seen people crushed in various ways throughout the journey, just as Cam's parent. And I'm like, you'd see parents crying, you'd see kids crying. I remember the one of the kids. I'm not going to tell this right. I can just feel it, but I'm going to try. Cam had a perfect game going, and somebody goofed, and it was in the very last part of it and everything like that. And Cam's like, I don't care, whatever. Cam did not care. Cam's like, I love you no matter what. We've been practicing all winter. This is fine. If there's going to be more games. That kid felt so bad.
Oh, sure.
And several of the other kids in the school, like, honed in on him that he quit baseball.
Wow.
And Cam's like, no, you come back. And I think eventually he did. But it's those kinds of moments. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah. And so I'm glad you had the best moment ever, because those are so cool. The one of the best moments ever that Cam had, against my frame of reference, so I'll just talk about it a little bit, was became evident that he was going to play in college, right? He was going to have the good fortune to play in college. He was going to pick a school and go and all that stuff. And he's a terrible artist. I mean, like if you see some of the clay pots in back of me that are over this side, we're like, well, you won't be an artist. We can tell that for sure. And he used to say, this is the worst class ever, art. I can't, it's going to throw my great GPA. And anyway, the whole team played a joke on him his senior year of art class and said, you've got a scholarship to the New York, Metropolitan or whatever it was. They
Right.
made up a fake thing and everything. And he's sitting there and that kid is so like gracious. He's like, oh, well, I'll have to entertain, like, Cam, we're joking, kind of thing. But it was, the whole team was in on the joke to give him a full art scholarship. And it was pretty funny. So it's sometimes it's memories like that you remember way more than, any out or game lost or whatever.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm really proud of you guys for doing this. I won't keep you forever and ever because I feel like I just want to talk to you guys for about 2 hours about baseball. I'm going to be quiet, I hope, because I'm excited to talk to you. But what didn't make it into the book that you were like, okay, what got cut that you're like, anything, or you all set? Sometimes.
Well, you said it. You said it about your husband, and I didn't realize it. But chapter 102, if we do a sequel, has to be the infield fly rule. The infield fly rule is not in the book, and so that did. It wasn't that we cut it; we didn't think of it. But the infield, there's got to be a lesson in the infield fly rule, Ken. We got to figure
somewhere. Yeah, we'll put our heads together.
The parents don't know what it is, but yeah, no, I'm sure you'll think of that. But and then where is this going? Like, what are your goals for it? Where is it going in every school? Is it going? What have you guys got going on? Every school, library, every coach, are you going to the coaches convention with it? NCAA coaches convention, even though it's college, it's still cool.
No, not going to the college coaches, because look, we're open for business, but I would say, I think we're really
aiming college edition of this.
Yeah. I think we're aiming a little younger generally, but open for business. And one of our endorsements comes from the winningest ever college softball coach, Carol Hutchins of the University of Michigan. But look, we're as I said, open for business, and I've done. I spoke at a school yesterday. I've spoken at Little Leagues. I spoke at a synagogue yesterday. Just open to speaking to any audience will have us.
Yeah. Did you get this? Anybody from the Savannah Bananas to endorse this yet? Do you like the Savannah Bananas, Ken? Say yes.
I love them. Yeah.
Okay, good.
They're great. Yeah.
Just kidding. Yeah. No. They're fun.
They're a hoot. Yeah.
They're really interesting with their take on baseball for sure, but it's more, I don't know if it's about baseball even anymore. It's just their spirit and their energy.
Oh, for sure.
Like Jesse Cole was on today on social media going, I hear there's an airline with yellow airplanes. I'm like, oh no.
There used to be. That was gone.
He's going to buy it and call it Banana Air.
Banana Air. So, Elizabeth, as far as the goals for the book, as Ken said, we would like to be everywhere. But I really think that this book is a prime fundraiser and team gift opportunity. The book can be purchased from the publisher at discount and used as a fundraiser by teams and by team sponsors to reward the kids by raising money for their every Little League team needs money. Every Little League team needs money to run the refreshment stand, to fill up the equipment locker with replacement item. Every Little League team, for uniforms, every Little League team needs money, and this book can help raise money by buying it at discount from Bloomsbury, the publisher, and selling it as a fundraiser from their food shack at the Little League field. And then I think it's a really nice end of season team gift for coaches to give their players.
I got a big league chew in a book. It's a really good idea. But I think if I was a coach at that level, I'd be like, okay, everybody get out your Bible and we're going to read, chapter 2 today. And I think I'd probably be reading to the kids or with kids, depending, and like teaching a lesson every time. I think that would be I don't know how well that would go over, but that's my girl vision of it. I don't know if everybody would sit and listen, but anything else? Like what, I know we're running, what haven't I asked you that you are like, that needs to be said? Anything?
I mean, just, as Harley said, Bloomsbury as a publisher, and there are bulk discounts. It's also available on Amazon and at select bookstores. And I'm all over social media. You can
Yes, you are.
find me easily. If you're interested in having me visit, I will get to you.
Yeah. What hashtag are you using? Are you using a specific hashtag with this?
No.
So maybe hashtag 101 lessons. I'll help you with that one. Get that one trending.
Thanks.
So you have your own little hashtag. That way people can
Thank
post.
you.
You can post your picture with the book and hashtag it like 101 lessons. And then all you do as in social media as the author of this is click on that hashtag and you can see who's been posting about you, which is kind of nice because I'm sure it's going to get to that level. But anyway, all right. Well, I love you both. Thank you so much for being
Thanks,
here.
Elizabeth.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
Yeah, I hope you'll come back again and hang out and tell me how it's going because you're always welcome. And who doesn't love talking about baseball? Who's going to win the College World Series? What is it, Ken? Who's going? Are my Hawkeyes going? Go Hawkeyes.
Am I safe in saying Vanderbilt? I mean, it's funny. I have such a tunnel vision in following my alma mater, the University of Michigan, and we're not going to make it.
Yeah.
But I don't really follow the whole landscape very much.
You can follow pro more.
Yeah.
What do you follow, Harley? Do you follow pro or college?
We go to the College World Series, and it's going to be a Texas. It's going to be a Texas team. I don't know which one, but it's going to be UTEC, a University of Texas, or it's going to be Baylor. It's going to be a Texas team this year. They looked great last year. They just didn't get all the way, but it's going to be a Texas team. I don't know which one.
All right, I'm going for the Hawkeyes. That's I love you guys. Go Hawks.
Love you. Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Okay, everybody, go grab it. You know what to do. Best ever you community. We need your support. There it is. Ken, where are you on Twitter? Just your name?
Yeah, at Ken Davidoff.
Harley, are you on Twitter and Instagram and all that?
Not so much, but if you go to No Regrets Parenting, you'll find me in this book. That's kind of my bumper sticker. No Regrets.
Here it is. One more time. Everybody see it? Buy it. Love it. Share it. There it is. Harley and Ken. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Take care, everybody. Thanks, everybody, and best ever you.